Mastering Your Emotions, the Key to a Peaceful Life. Hello everyone. Thank you for being here today. I want to talk about something we all deal with every day, our emotions, especially anger. It's a powerful feeling, isn't it? One moment you're fine, and the next, something happens, a rude comment, a traffic jam, or a disagreement, and boom, you're angry. But here's the thing. Ancient wisdom tells us, the moment you get angry, you've already lost. Lost what? Lost control of yourself, your peace, and sometimes even your life. Today, I'll share why anger is so dangerous, how it hurts us, and most importantly, how we can master it to live happier, healthier lives. Let's dive in. Part 1. The Dangers of Anger, a fire that burns you first. Imagine anger as a fire. It starts small, a spark from something that annoys you. But if you don't put it out, it grows into a blaze that burns everything in its path, including you. Let me tell you a story from history to show what I mean. In ancient China, during the Three Kingdoms period, there was a famous general named Zhuangzi. He was brave, strong, and incredibly talented. But he had a flaw. He couldn't control his temper. When he heard his sworn brother Guan Yu was killed, Zhuangzi was so furious and heartbroken that he turned to alcohol. In his rage, he beat his own soldiers. What happened next? Two of his men, fed up with his temper, waited until he was asleep and killed him right there on his bed. A great general, undone by his own anger. This isn't just an old story, it's a lesson. When we lose control of our emotions, we lose control of our lives. Napoleon, the famous military leader, once said, "A person who can master their emotions is greater than a general who conquers a city." Why? Because anger doesn't just hurt others, it hurts us first. Think about it. When you're mad, your heart races, your face gets hot, you might even feel shaky. Science backs this up. Anger raises your blood pressure, stresses your heart, and can even damage your liver or lungs, according to ancient Chinese medicine. It's like drinking poison and expecting someone else to suffer. And it's not just your body. Anger ruins relationships too. Yell at a friend, snap at your family, or argue with a coworker, and suddenly, people start pulling away. Over time, you're left feeling alone. So if anger is this destructive, why do we let it take over? And more importantly, how do we stop it? Part 2. Why anger happens, and why it's a choice. Let's be real, we all get angry sometimes. Someone cuts you off in traffic, your boss criticizes you unfairly, or a loved one says something hurtful. It's natural to feel that spark. But here's the key. Anger isn't just a reaction, it's a choice. We choose to let that spark turn into a fire. The ancient philosopher Zhuangzi from China had some brilliant ideas about this. He said there are 4 ways to stay calm and not let anger win. Don't care what others say about you. Zhuangzi told a story about a scholar who traveled miles to meet the wise man Laozi. When he got there, he saw Laozi's house was a mess and called him a rat. Laozi didn't even blink. He said, "Call me a cow, a horse, or a rat. I'm still me." The lesson? If someone insults you, it doesn't change who you are unless you let it. Don't take yourself too seriously. Zhuangzi compared life to an empty boat. If a boat bumps into you on the river and there's no one in it, you don't get mad. It's just a boat. But if someone's steering it, you're furious. Why? Because you feel important. Let go of that ego, and anger fades. Accept life's imperfections. Zhuangzi pointed out that everyone has flaws. Some people are born different, others face tough times. Complaining doesn't fix it. Look at people who thrive despite hardships. They don't waste energy on anger. Find your own path. He said a wild bird might struggle for food, but it's happier than a caged bird fed every day. Freedom in your heart beats any outward success. These ideas aren't just old theories. They work today. When someone annoys you, ask yourself, do I really need to care this much? Most of the time, the answer is no. Part 3. Real-life lessons. Anger versus kindness. Let me share another story, this time from ancient China's Liang and Chu kingdoms. Soldiers from Chu were jealous of Liang's thriving melon fields, so one night, they sneaked over and destroyed them. The Liang soldiers wanted revenge. They planned to ruin Chu's fields too. But their leader, Songjiu, stopped them. Instead, he ordered his men to secretly water Chu's fields every night. Soon, Chu's melons grew strong, and when they found out Liang was helping them, they were ashamed. Their king sent gifts to apologize, and the two nations became friends. What's the takeaway? Anger breeds enemies. Kindness turns them into allies. Now, think about your own life. Maybe someone's wronged you, a friend, a family member, a stranger. Your first instinct might be to snap back. But what if, like Zhuangzi, you chose patience instead? It's not easy, but it's powerful. Part 4. The Buddha's Wisdom. 3 simple sentences. If Zhuangzi gives us philosophy, the Buddha gives us a practical tool. He saw anger as a poison. One thought of rage can open 100 doors of trouble, as the scriptures say. But he also taught us how to stop it with 3 sentences you can repeat in your head anytime you're mad. Anger only punishes me. Feel your chest tighten when you're upset? That's your body telling you anger's hurting you first. Wise people don't get angry. It's a reminder. Staying calm isn't weakness, it's strength and smarts. 8 winds blow, but I stay steady. This comes from a poet, Zhuangzi, who said life's ups and downs, praise, criticism, success, failure, are like winds. Don't let them shake you. Here's how it works. Imagine your coworker says something rude. Your blood starts boiling. Stop, breathe, and think, anger only punishes me. Then, wise people don't get angry. Finally, 8 winds blow, but I stay steady. Suddenly, that comment doesn't feel so big anymore. The Buddha didn't say to bottle up your anger. That's unhealthy. He said to let it go, like dropping a hot coal before it burns you. Part 5. A modern example, the power of patience. Let me tell you one more story, this time closer to home. Picture a tax collector in an old village. He goes to a poor woodcutter's house to collect overdue taxes. The man begs for more time, but the collector, furious, pulls out his sword to make an example of him. The woodcutter, calm even facing death, says, "Sir, let me say something. 30 years ago, I lost my family because I acted in anger. I've learned, when you're mad, do nothing." The collector pauses, puts his sword away, and leaves. That night, he comes home late and sees his wife in bed with another man. Rage takes over. He grabs his sword again. But then he remembers the woodcutter's words, "When you're mad, do nothing." He calms down, walks closer, and realizes it's just his son, wearing his clothes, sleeping next to his mom. If he'd acted in anger, he'd have killed the people he loved most. Later, he returns to thank the woodcutter, who'd just earned enough to pay his debts. Patience saved them both. Part 6. How to start. Small steps to a calmer you. So, how do we apply this in our busy lives? It's not about becoming a saint overnight. It's about small changes. Next time you're angry, try this. Pause and breathe. Give yourself a moment before reacting. Look for the good. If someone's upsetting you, think of one thing they've done right. It shifts your focus. Think of what matters. Ask yourself, will this matter tomorrow? Usually it won't. Be grateful instead. The Buddha said hardships teach us patience. Be thankful for the lesson, not the fight. Anger's natural, we're human. But controlling it? That's a skill. As the old saying goes, hold back anger for a moment. Avoid worry for 100 days. It's like stepping back from a cliff. You see the bigger picture, a wide sea, a clear sky. Conclusion, mastering emotions, mastering life. In the end, life's too short for anger. Whether it's Zhuangzi's empty boat, Zhuangzi's kindness, or the Buddha's 3 sentences, the message is clear. Don't let emotions rule you. Be the one who stays calm when the storm hits. That's true strength. That's true freedom. So next time you feel that fire starting, remember, you don't have to lose. You can choose peace. Thank you for listening. I hope this inspires you to take one small step toward a calmer, happier you.